woo, you're going to start to feel like that they're going to start to feel that you're alienating them. Well, hey, you're not going out and partying with them. You're going to bed early. You're getting up early. You're working out. You're starting to start maybe a physical fitness journey. You're expanding your mind by reading more. And so that little bit of success is also something that a lot of people, me included, associate with fear, because what happens there is that it's you're unfamiliar with it. It's easy to fall into the comfort zone. Hey, John from Jamaica, what's going on down there? That sorry, I lost my train of thought. Okay, so for instance, like you're starting to do well. You're starting to adopt a healthier lifestyle. Worst thing you could do is rub it into people. The worst thing you could do is, you know how people, when they're converted to something, they just can't shut up about it. Don't be that person. Just go about it in a quiet manner. Lead by example. What you're going to start to see that way is you're going to start to see a lot of people come out and say, "Wow, hey, you know, Joe's doing really well. He's looking good. He's feeling good. Hey, Joe, what's up?" And then you start to explain it in a matter of fact, nice way, not in a friendly way, not in a like, "Oh man, I'm getting after it every morning now. You should be doing this, and if you don't do this, then blah blah blah." And you're an alcoholic. Stop drinking. Like, don't be that guy. Okay, be the person that's like, "Yeah, I'm starting to feel pretty good. You know, I do this, I do this, I do this. Hey, you want to join me tomorrow morning? It'd be fun to have you along." That's how it works, and that's how, like by example, that you lead people into a healthier lifestyle. And so again, it's fear, really. It's fear of success. I think is something that people don't talk about enough. It's fear of not being successful, that people get freaked out about, that experience a lot of anxiety. But let me tell you guys, a little bit of success, especially for someone like me, like it's unfamiliar. It really is. Because I didn't grow up with a lot of people, a big great support system. I didn't really have a lot of that, and so it gets to be. It's not that I don't trust people when they're kind. It's just, well, I don't know. I think it's just a matter of me just being uncomfortable. And being uncomfortable, I guess by extension, it would be almost like undeserving of it in a sense. And so don't fall into that trap. So again, just let's recap this for a moment, because I have to get going. I've got to get some other things. Ooh, see the doggy back there? Yeah. It's beautiful. There's so many people walking around now. But again, you want to increase your testosterone, addition by subtraction. Ditch the booze, ditch the drugs, ditch the junk food, replace all that with a healthy lifestyle. Get up, walk, exercise, start reading. Start reading about subjects. A lot of the most successful people tend to be the most curious. And the most curious, not so much about rocket science or things that we hold in very high esteem, but I'm very curious about how something as seemingly innocuous as like how makeup artists work. Like, wow, that's really cool stuff. And it's things like that. Just develop that innate curiosity and a good attitude, and that will go a long way to help increase your good health, and that's going to keep your testosterone level up. It really is. And when you bring a good attitude, it comes back to you, and you feel it. You feel energized, and you feel young. You do. A big smile on your face makes you feel young. And the other thing is, once you find this newfound love for good health, physical fitness, being more curious, trying to better yourself, don't go blabbing it to people. Just let it happen naturally. Let it happen. Let people come to you and say, "Hey, what have you been doing different?" And then just be cool about it. Don't like, the worst thing you can do is go at somebody, because what you'll do is alienate them. Then you're back to square one. Then you're back to square one, guys, and that's not where you want to be. You want to progress in life. You want to move ahead. And as I said earlier, I'll be 61 in about 4 weeks, and I'm just beginning. And that's what I want for all of you guys. I want all of you guys to start now, and I want you to start rewriting your story now. Okay, and enjoy that process. Enjoy rewriting that story. I love all you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the comments. And as I always say, positive, negative, perceived positive or negative, there's always something that I can learn from them. So thank you. Keep them all coming. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Let me know how you guys are going to take steps to increase your good health and rewrite your own story. Love all you guys. I will definitely see you in the next one. It's been too long. So you guys take care. Love you all. See you in the next one. Oh, you're welcome. Okay. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, I'm here. It's a beautiful day. I'll stay out a little longer. Hey, Philo. How are you, man? Yeah, it's pretty out here. It's just beautiful. Yeah.
At Olive Garden, the cheese keeps coming till you say when.
In this video, I'm going to show you how you can burn up to 3 times the calories in the same amount of time. Now that you've built the habit of walking on a regular basis, maybe you'd like to take it up a notch to increase the intensity, maybe to develop better endurance, but you're not ready to run. Let me tell you something. The weighted walk, rucking, you can burn up to 3 times the calories, all through use of a simple weight that you carry. In terms of caloric expenditure, walking will burn anywhere from 250 to 280 calories per hour. Weighted walking will burn anywhere up to 600, 650 calories per hour, depending on your speed, depending on the load. This means that you're getting a lot more per step in terms of caloric expenditure. You can use this to modulate your routine. If you don't have enough time, then you can always use weight or load to help you bridge the gap, to fine-tune your cardiovascular routine. So whether it's time, distance, whether it's hills or flat ground, whether it is loaded, the amount of load, these are all variables that you can fine-tune towards your goals. Now, a weighted vest is one of my favorite ways to walk. One, because of the time efficiency, and because of the intensity. I'm building strength and I'm building endurance. And this is great because we're not asking you to increase your cadence to a run, and we're not asking you to actually walk any longer. In fact, for most people, you may find that this added expenditure may be the key to lowering the amount of length that you're walking. Now, if you decide to take on weighted walking, you have 2 options. Now, a vest like this is a Titan Fitness 40-pound vest. I reviewed this on the channel earlier. Or a rucksack. Right here is a tactical backpack, and you can fill this with anything. Water jugs. You can, if you have a weight vest or weights at home, you can place them in this also. The disadvantages that I see between the rucksack and the vest is the lack of balance. It is much easier for you to engage in exercises with this as a resistance, while the bag can provide some usage in exercise, but it's not as versatile. The modular design of a weighted vest, starting at just 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds, and going up to 40, provides the right intervals of progressive overload, which will help you develop any skill you're looking for in regards to fitness. Also, the weighted vest is extremely modular, not just in terms of the weight, but how it's distributed. If you find that you need more weight towards the front, you can take out a few of these. These are called ingots. They're about 2.5 pounds each. There is 8 on the front, 8 on the back. This adds up to 40 pounds. I don't suggest buying a larger vest than 40 pounds. When walking with weights, we want to stay between 10% to 25% of our body weight. The larger vests reach below the waist, which then becomes an encumbrance upon your gait cycle. We don't want anything to get in the way of our gait cycle, and if you have something that's too low and in the way, it will impede your movement. And then now you're just developing a bad pattern while under load, which is a recipe for injury. And because it's balanced with weight on the front and on the back, it allows me to keep this upright posture. I find when wearing the rucksack, the bag you'll find is very heavy around the low back. I will have most of the focus on the shoulder blades, and this can cause compensations, whether it's rounding through the upper back or through the lower back. So I prefer this. There are a few advantages of the rucksack. This is about 10 pounds. Definitely important to buckle up. Not only should the straps be in the right position, but these straps, the waist straps, should all be secure to keep the weight from jostling around. One of the advantages is that you can add as much weight as you'd like to a bag like this. If you can fit 80 pounds into this bag, then so be it. While the weighted vest is only limited to the pockets that it has. More than likely, you already have a backpack or a rucksack at home, and you can start off with just a standard backpack. So you can just find a water jug, a weight plate, and put it into the back, and you can easily go today and start walking. The rucksack, far more accessible, has more usage. You can carry things when you're not using it to walk. The weighted vest is use specific. Other than adding load to you, it has no other purpose, so there's no storage, there's no carrying water, there's nothing else that you can do other than carry weight with this vest. If you're finding this content useful and you're enjoying it, please press the like button so others can see it too, and consider subscribing. Your support helps this channel grow. I like to think of weighted walking as the mythology of Milo and the bull, where you would walk and increase the weight until you're able to manage the weight. Definitely do not buy a 40-pound vest and on day one wear all 40 pounds of it. You want to start out at least at maybe 10 pounds, 5 on the front, 5 on the rear, and then with every subsequent week, we go up 10%. This way, you stay out of the injury zone. If you are wearing conventional shoes, this is not the video for you. My videos, every video on this channel is for barefoot or barefoot footwear users. And so if you're gonna watch this video and then wear marshmallows and wonder why it doesn't work, why do you have to walk like that, feel free. Conventional shoes are gonna cause you much more pain than the idea of looking different through this 4-foot walking strike. This is roughly 20% of my body weight. There's no reason why I should walk in this leisurely position. I'm not window shopping. We're out here for cardio. We're using walking as cardio. The added weight substantiates, definitely at this point, changing your gait pattern. And what you'll find is that as you practice this, you'll start to get more of the understanding as to what I mean with the 4-foot strike, because the weight actually helps to center you. A lot of people don't understand how poor their balance is until they actually put on a weight vest like this and see that their body is shifting in all types of directions, pinpointing different muscular weaknesses. That's another reason why a weighted vest is a great way to kind of understand where you need to shore up. And before you start, let's do a checkup on your posture. What most people believe is good posture is actually not, and it really is a stiffening and locking out of the joints. This will cause injuries when it comes to weighted walking. Remember, we have a load that we are not used to, and now if you start locking out the hips and the knees in order to gain what you believe is a good posture, with the chest up and the head upright, you will have an injury eventually. What we want to do is we want to keep in our supple position. We want to bring the hips around, kind of sit back into this little nest that our body creates when we get into the athletic stance. This allows you to maneuver when we're trying to walk, especially with a heel strike, what we're doing is we are not only lengthening the leg to reach, we are stiffening the whole leg while we walk forward. This will jar you, especially if you're under a good amount of load. More jarring with every step over time, over days, equals an injury that some cannot recover from. This is why many people will talk about rucking and they'll be all about it for 1 to 2 weeks and then you never hear about it again, and this vest ends up collecting dust. For your longevity, we are going to minimize the load until we're able, and we're also going to stay out of locked positions, and we're going to keep ourselves supple. So that means hips sitting back into this basket, knees are flexed, ankles are slightly flexed, and we are keeping a relaxed posture at the neck, not looking up. We're keeping it in line with the torso, and we're just slightly looking up, and don't exaggerate it. I exaggerate on my videos to show you the kind of the limits. And when you see me doing it, you can pare it back and find the sweet spot between how you're doing it and how my demonstration is doing it. And that will be about right for you on a regular basis. When it comes to balance, allow the weight to lead you. Allow it to do the work. Remember, part of being a great sprinter is the ability to lean as far as you can and to be able to recover. The angle should consider the load, and it should consider your speed. You have to do that calculation for yourself to find out how far you should lean, but at no point should you actually lean back. Leaning back, especially in this case, is definitely going to slow you down and put unneeded stress on your joints. The weight is providing the load, and with that load, we're going to manage it by just stepping forward gently. Through this stepping, we're allowing the lateral edge of the foot to land first. Now, why the lateral edge of the foot? As I've shown you in previous videos, if you look at sprinters who are providing the largest force impact of any other athlete, all land on the lateral side of the foot first. I have a lot of comments saying that it is unnecessary, we're meant to walk on our heels. Well, put this 40-pound vest on and try walking for a mile or two with it on, and you'll find that you won't last past the week. Heel striking under load is not a wise thing to do. Now, when weighted walking, what you'd like to do is focus on building your zone 2 capacity. This is the sweet spot for your endurance gains. This keeps you from redlining, from petering out, building your endurance. And that is, after all, why we're out here. 1, to burn calories, 2, to build our stamina. Through staying in zone 2, you'll be able to recover faster after a long walk, even with the weight, as opposed to being in a high intensity state, such as high intensity interval training or sprinting, where you will need a great deal of recovery and food after you're done. If you can stay in zone 2, you can stay out of that famished feeling. The zone 2 will range anywhere from about 114 beats per minute to 145 beats per minute, depending on your age. To calculate that, you would take 180 and minus your age, and that would give you a good measure as to what your BPM should be. When practicing zone 2 endurance, you want to stay within a 10 beats per minute buffer range. So if it is 140, no lower than 130, and definitely no higher than 150. You can do everything that you were doing while walking, and you know I advocate walking backwards, and that can be done also. I also recommend hill climbing, and that too can be done with the weighted vest or with the rucksack. The combination of a weighted vest and a hill can really expedite your fat loss. I would advocate, if you really want just the burn, a steady walk uphill. I'm lucky, I'm in Georgia, a very hilly region, and there is no shortage of hills to climb. Well, I know what's next. You're gonna ask, can I run with the vest on? And I don't advise that. Improper form and weight are a bad combination. The most that I could recommend, though, is a shuffle. Just because you can speed doesn't mean you should. If speeding is gonna take you out of zone 2, then it's unnecessary. If your endurance is high and your heart rate remains low into the lower zone 2, then you can incorporate a light shuffle. Only shuffle up until the boundaries of your zone 2 threshold. Don't exceed it if your focus is to develop endurance, because it'll be unnecessary. But if you do, stay on the forefoot, stay bouncy, absorb the load. Don't fight against it. Knees are slightly lifting the feet. Just getting in front of the other. And this is one of the great benefits of practice walking forefoot. It's because you can do intermediary speeds and use the same pattern. Now, when it comes to footwear, you know this is a barefoot channel, but in terms of whether to wear boots, conventional shoes, or barefoot shoes, you know that I'll always pick barefoot or barefoot shoes. Understand that wearing boots normally is done by military personnel. After all, this is where rucking has gained its popularity. But understand that the military is regulated and they are required to wear the boots for their training. And I'm sure a lot of them hate it. So there's no reason why you should put yourself in undue pain or pressure by wearing boots to go rucking. I think it'll be far more beneficial for your health and longevity to wear the barefoot shoes, to do this also barefoot if you'd like. Always avoid conventional shoes, because what it will do is give you a false sense of your telemetry and ability by providing this marshmallow on the bottom of your foot that you can then use to absorb the weight. So you never really learn how to manage weight properly. Hopefully I've given you some insight as to how to incorporate weighted walking. I got this vest from Titan Fitness. It served me well, but there are a variety of manufacturers. Just make sure that you look into the reviews of them all so that you can best ascertain which one is right for you. I find this to be comfortable. This is a 40-pound vest. I believe that it will work for most anybody, and its modular designs allow for you to slowly, incrementally raise the load. A lot of weighted vests have plates. Those plates will have to be swapped out at different weights. That will take more money for a lot of people. So I find that this 2.5 pound increment works well for most people. Again, you don't want to exceed 10% in any variation of the routine per week, right? Outside of that, you may be risking some issues. This has been Grown and Healthy, the channel where we explore self-improvement through movement. Thanks for watching.
Hey guys, it's Coop from Garage. And today we're doing a roundup on the best weighted vest. This is a type of product that we see in a ton of garage gyms and home gyms, really because it's a way to add weight to body weight exercises. They're very versatile. You can use them for running, you can use them for push-ups, for pull-ups, all sorts of body weight type movements. You can also use them in different challenges. So we see them being used in CrossFit workouts and Murph and things like that. And today we wanted to provide you the best weighted vests that are out there. But if you're into that sort of thing, and you should be, then you should subscribe. If you'd like to see any of these, check them out and link the like button. And if there's any that we didn't include in this review, make sure you let us know in the comments. Now, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to go through and kind of just provide an overview of the ones that we have available here and the ones that we've tested. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to provide recommendations after I give overviews. I'm also going to go through why I like them and who I think they're for. This is a product category, like some other ones, where there isn't necessarily a clear-cut winner for everyone. I have a recommendation that I think is the best for most people, but depending on your situation, the type of training you do, the type of competitions you do, how strong you are, your goals is going to determine which one you get. Also the price point, because these vary widely, all the way from $300 or so, all the way down to like 45 bucks. And the reality is, some people just look at it as weight. I understand that, so we're going to talk about that. Now, let's talk about contenders. Okay, I'm going to start at the top and then just work my way through. First off, these top two are from HyperVest. These are basically a flexible style type weight vest that allows you to have a limited amount of weight you're using, but they feel a lot like a shirt. This is the Rogue Plate Carrier. It's basically designed in collaboration with the former CrossFit Games director, Dave Castro, to have something that they could use in their competitions that was ideal for people that were training there. By the way, I did talk to some CrossFit Games athletes that use these versus the 511, and they gave me some very good opinions. This is the 511 weight vest. This is really the one, when you think of a blackjack weight vest, this is one of the original ones. This was used in many of the CrossFit Games, very popular design, very pricey design, but I do think that it still has value today. This is the GoRuck Plate Carrier. This is very similar to their backpacks, but instead of harnessing the entire backpack, it just has a place for the plates. This is the Kensui Easy Vest. We've done a full review on this. One of the most unique weight vests that's out here. This is the Uncommon Breed weight vest. They don't make this anymore, so I'm not going to talk about it anymore. This is the North Gym weight vest. One of the most popular and most reviewed weight vests on Amazon and at a very good price point. This is the cheapest weight vest you can buy. Is it good? We'll talk about it. But this is from Cat Barbell, 20 pounds and very cheap. This is the Condor weight vest. The Condor weight vest is one of the most popular, cheaper weight vests that are out there. Very similar to a blackjack style, but it's very cheap, especially when you compare it to one like the 511. Is it as good? There's some good things about it. There's some very negative things about it. We'll talk about it in a moment. This